Okay, everybody, welcome back. So in our last part here to section 7, this is section 7, part 5, we're going to talk about a few more things that I think that will be helpful to you as you kind of navigate through Studio One. So again, we're here in our edit screen, and I want to show you a couple of things. So the first thing I want to do is just show you the top menu bar here. So if you look at the top, we have Studio One. If you click on that, you'll have the preferences window, which we talked about earlier. That's going to be a window you're going to spend a lot of time in. So again, get yourself acquainted and familiar with the preferences window. But you can also go down to keyboard shortcuts. You can activate Studio One. There's all kinds of things you can do here. We're not going to go through them all, obviously. File here is where you can create a new song from here. You can open an existing song file. You can close it. You can rename it, so on and so forth. But this is one thing that I want to show you quickly, this thing called Save to a New Folder. So if you remember back in the earlier part of this series, I talked about the folder structure and how I talked about if you're running your Studio One session on the same internal drive as your computer with the operating system and with the application Studio One, that at one point you may want to have an external hard drive, a USB drive or Thunderbolt drive, to where you can run your session files off of that to help free up hard drive space, okay? And we talked about when you're going to move your Studio One song file to, let's say, another drive, that you have to make sure you not only move the song file itself, but also the audio folder and everything that goes along with it. If you don't remember that, go back into one of the earlier sections. I forget which section it was in. It was in there. I believe it was section 2 where we talked about folder structure. One way to make this even easier so you don't forget or don't move things properly and then screw up the next time you try to open up that song file that now you've relocated to another drive, is to use this thing called Save to a New Folder. So for example, let's say this particular session that we're working on right here is on my internal hard drive on my laptop, right? And let's say I wanted to move this to an external drive. Now I don't have an external drive hooked up, but this is the same concept, so just follow me. So let's say I wanted to move this to a different location. Okay, I'm not going to have it on my desktop anymore. I'm going to put it in another part of my computer or on an external hard drive. If you come up to File and go to Save to New Folder, this is going to allow you to choose where do you want to have that new folder. So let's say I wanted to put it in my Dropbox folder. Let's pretend that was my external hard drive that we were talking about. And then I go ahead, I can save it as any name that I want, and I hit save. Quickly watch what happens. We only have a couple of tracks here. It's going to be rather quick, but what this is going to do is this is going to make an absolute duplicate of not only the song file, the session that we're looking at, but all the appropriate files and folders that come along, that need to come along with it to its new location. So you don't have to worry about manually grabbing everything and moving it to the new drive. You can open it up in its current location and use this Save to a New Folder, and it'll make an absolute duplicate. So if I go ahead and I say Save to New Folder here, it did it very, very quickly, but if you had a bunch of tracks, you would see the progress bar. Now if I go to my Dropbox folder here, and let's pretend again that that was my external drive, right? And I open this up, you will see right down here, I'm going to move it over here, Studio One Recording Course Demo. And if I open it, it's going to have my song file there, okay? And if it had any other appropriate folders, it would bring it along with it. We don't have anything on our session, or else you would see the audio file, you would see everything there. Okay, and right now it's actually uploading to Dropbox, so that's why it's probably taking a few moments. In a few moments, you would actually see the audio file here next to it. But just trust me, without having an external hard drive, that's the best way for me to describe it. So using Save to New Folder, in summary, is a way to move your entire Studio One session from one location on your computer to another, making sure that not only the song file, but the audio folder, the cache folder, the images files, and all the appropriate files go along with it. So when you go to open that song again from its new location, it sees all the audio. I hope that makes sense. If not, rewind the video and watch it again. Okay, so that's Save to New Folder. That's important. Save as a template, we're going to talk about that a little bit later when we get to our mixing section. And then again, all these controls, we're not going to go through all of them, but I urge you to go through the edit section and go through the song section where you can import files. This is where we're going to export and mix our song down later on. Tracks, you can add tracks to our session, both audio and instrument. We'll talk about that later. So pretty much anything that you can do or you need to do in Studio One can be found in these multiple menus. Now, there are many ways to do every one of these things, and next to some of these things, you're going to see the shortcut keys, the hotkeys, or the shortcuts. So for adding a track, we just hit the letter T, and we'll be able to add our new track dialog box, okay, for example. So I urge you to go through and check out all of these. They're real important. It's going to really help you as you start to try to increase and get more proficient using Studio One. The other thing I want to show you too over here is on this audio file. See how we can just click on this, highlight this event. You're going to spend a lot of time, whether it's on an audio track or a MIDI track. If you right click on this, a lot of these drop down menus, these sub menus, are ways that you can affect that particular track, and it's an easy way to get to them. So for example, by right clicking, you say I can copy this, I can cut it, copy it, I can duplicate it, I can mute it, I can bounce it. There's a whole bunch of things. If you go into the event, the sub menu, you can see all the things that you can do to this highlighted audio event that we have. We have an audio sub menu and an instrument part. This is not an instrument track, but anything that you want to be able to do from an editing perspective, for the most part, are going to be when you right click on this audio file or when you right click on the event. These blocks of audio that I just clicked and highlighted, Studio One, the nomenclature is it's an event. Okay, in other DAWs they call them regions, and Studio Ones they call them events. Again, if you right click, you could even change the color. Just by left clicking on the color palette, we can change the color of the event. We can change the name by double clicking in here. You can change the name of the file. You can change its tempo. You can do anything here just by right clicking and navigating your way through. And as I said at the end of the last section, one of the things you may want to do is drag some loops onto your screen here like I've done, and you want to play around with these different things so you can see what they do. Some of these things you're going to use, some of these things not so often, but just be aware that if you want to do any editing to one of your tracks, if you right click, most of those functions and features are going to be there, and a lot of them are doubled up top here, as we talked about in the menu a few seconds ago. Okay, so that is it now for section 7. By all these 5 parts, you now have a pretty good, hopefully, an understanding of the way the edit screens, the console and the edit screens are laid out. I've showed you a lot of the basic tools and functions on the more common uses of what you're going to be using in your daily workflow. And that ought to get you going in the right direction. You can always refer back to section 7 and look at the different parts if you need to kind of refresh your memory. And once again, I'll say, make sure you always have your manual handy, the PDF file of the Studio One manual. That's a great resource as well if you want to try to find out some specific things that you might be wanting to do. And the more you play with this, the better you get. So now come on back for the next section, and we're going to start now, finally, we're going to start mapping out and start recording. I'm going to show you how to record in Studio One. We're going to work with some drum loops, we're going to record some real instruments, and we're going to build out our little song here. So I will see you in the next section.